Hey, fifth grade, for today's poetry lesson, we're going to be reading two poems. So your document in your work is going to have 2 pages, so you'll have to scroll down. We're reading Birch and Shelter. Today's poems come from a poetry anthology entitled Unleashed, Poems by Writers' Dogs. The editors, Amy Hempel and Jim Shepard, asked a bunch of dog-owning poets to write poems as if they were their own dogs. The results are funny, also thought-provoking, also moving. Take a look at Birch first with me. Birch. You gonna eat that? You gonna eat that? You gonna eat that? I'll eat that. Now take a look at Shelter. You paused outside to look into my cage. I tried to play it right, wanting to catch your eye with a shiny glint in my own, a soft bark that said, "Choose me," in a canine grammar I hoped you'd understand. Your face held nothing, pity maybe, that let me believe you would ever want a dog like me. You turned once, twice, 100 times, coming and going the length of my cage, coming and going like you do now, 10 times a day, then walked away. I could not stand another day of strangers coming to stare, passing me over for younger dogs who knew too little to have the strange look of longing I could not keep from my eyes. I could not stand another night alone in that place, the cracked cement floor, the howls and the whines that kept me sleepless. Did you know that sound is still the one I hear when you wake me kicking from dreams sleeping in your bed? Then suddenly you were back. I saw you glance at the card that hung onto my gate. A false name, a date of arrival, otherwise a blank. No age, no history, nothing that would let you know I would stay with you forever and never go. You leaned your face into the fence, curling your hands through the wires, blinking in the sun, neither one of us so young in the bright spring light, yet wanting to be. I let one paw hover in the air, but looked away, not wanting to show my eagerness, but wanting to find a way to tell you that I would be a good dog and how much I wanted to be owned. A dog is only half himself without a master, unfinished, half alive. I could not move, nor speak, but when you dropped to your knees and reached 2 fingers towards my fur, I felt myself fall. Oh God, I could not help myself. Letting my body form the words, head back, eyes closed, throat exposed, legs flailing in the air. Yes, I said, yes, please, take me, yes. All right, first let's go back into Birch altogether. What do you see? How are we getting such a strong visual image from just 2 lines? So when we look at this one, what are you seeing? You're seeing a dog begging for some food, right? And you maybe even see or hear him dancing around as he begs from his owner at the table. This is a classic example of what we learned from William Carlos Williams, that you can create an image and let the reader's mind do the rest. So it's short and sweet and to the point, but we get it. And it's kind of funny because it's written from the dog's point of view, just like Shelter is. Now let's go into Shelter. In this poem, I want to point out just a couple of things. That the title has a double meaning. The dog was rescued from the shelter and is seeking shelter from the poet, or with the poet. I also wanted to point out that these stanzas right here are so visual that they kind of give us images of what life at a pound or a dog shelter is like. So when you go back into this poem today, what I would like for you to do is to mark the lines where you get a sense of just how much this dog is yearning to be owned. So you're going to highlight the lines and then you're going to explain, this shows me that the dog really, really wants to be adopted, and this is how I know that. So be very specific and explain your thinking when you add your comments today. And then again, one last thing, as a writer of poems, if your cat or dog could talk, what would be its message, its tone, its point of view, its imagery? These could be funny poems or thoughtful poems or moving poems. So keep that in mind as we continue to write our own free verse poetry. I love and miss you guys. Let me know if you need any help with anything. I can't wait to see you soon.